we began this topic, we hoped everyone could come together to think about where the water is going and how we could cherish every drop of water. Kenya was a British colony in its early years. Its infrastructure is not as bad as other African countries, but why does it lack water? Our reporters went to find out through first-hand observations.
When we first started in Kenya, we went to the western part of the country. You could feel that this place is very dry. There are no trees and even the mountains are bare. And there is a war to get water almost every year. They will go to the riverbed and dig the sand. There is a person who has been digging and digging to find water. When they find it, they will directly bury his head in the hole to drink the water. We also saw how local residents collect water and pour it into the pot and then cook it. If they had to cook or do it, they would directly use the fire to cook the unfiltered water. If they fall down, they'll get muddy. They actually have nothing and certainly no normal water resources. I think that this is like looking at our own heart. When you have nothing, you will find this thing to be precious.
Our reasons for going to Japan is because they have a concept of looking ahead. This is worth learning. Even though they won't lack rain, Japan's Weather Bureau even told them that over the next few decades, the number of rainstorms will increase, but the amount of snow in the mountains will decrease. So Japan began to plan ahead, and now they have more than 2,000 reservoirs across the country. Every reservoir is a treasure water resource.
It's a reservoir that supplies drinking water to people, and for those that are used for machines, those are different. I think that a long time ago they planned this out. It may have been 50 years ago or already in the Edo period 100 years ago. This is all well planned and designed.
There are 2,600 reservoirs in Japan. You will want to ask why you have to build so many reservoirs. This is because they are a culture that is deeply prepared for everything. This is in their genes.
Since we are in such an advanced country, we don't need to go far to get some water. We just have to take a bottle and we can even get water from the bathroom.
Turn on the faucet and drink it like me. This is part of daily life in Japan. Everyone knows that in Japan you can directly drink the tap water. But some still worry about the quality, as when we went to Saitama Prefecture, we can see people buying water in the supermarket. The place where we were staying had a bucket, and buying water is still a very common thing.
Water from the spring is very sweet and soft.
They came to drink this spring water, which is purified through a layer of gravel. But upstream of the Tama River, this small reservoir also provides clean water to Tokyo. I think that this logic is a little wrong.
The problem in Hong Kong is exactly the opposite of Japan. Because many people live in Hong Kong, which has a lot of development, the problem of water scarcity will be highlighted. So in the past few years, they bought Dongjiang water, and they also made many reservoirs and dams, as well as use seawater to flush the toilet. They hope that this can reduce dependence on water resources. How they save every drop of water is a lesson that is worth learning for Taiwan.
In Hong Kong, the flushing system looks the same as other countries. However, looking closely at the details is quite different. They use seawater for flushing, and after rubbing our hands here, we find some salt residue. You can see that Hong Kong is very prosperous. They still pump groundwater or use well water. They also believe that using fresh water to flush the toilet is very wasteful. Everyone wants to have 2 pipelines to use seawater for flushing.
In fact, I also thought about this matter. If Hong Kong can do seawater flushing and Taiwan is surrounded by the sea, why can't we do it? When I was on the streets of Hong Kong with our reporter Guo Xin, I saw a taxi driver who was washing his vehicle. I asked him why he used a bucket to wash the car. Was it because water is expensive? He said no, he just thought this was a good way to save water. So I think that many here have water-saving awareness.
Everyone said that Hong Kong's development relies on Dongjiang water. This is true considering the volume of water purchases, and I don't think it has any bargaining chips. For this reason, some scholars want Hong Kong to have water independence, as everyone recommends it upgrades the local water supply.
Kaohsiung's Fengshan Wastewater Treatment Center is the first in Taiwan to process reclaimed water. When we arrive at the first stage of the sewage treatment plant, the odor from household sewage entered the plant was very strong.
The water is mixed with a sewage containing excrement and also mixed with water for washing vegetables and other domestic sewage. The odor is very strong, and it's amazing that they can regenerate this water and make it cleaner than tap water.
问题是，当这些民生污水还在我们家里面的时候，我们目前的系统当中呢，就是把所有的这些水都集中在一起。
The problem is that household sewages are mixed together when it comes to the sewage treatment plant. I think that the government should develop a better sewage diversion system to handle relatively clean water and another system to deal with dirty water like toilet waste. We simply spend too much to do this waste processing.
然后之后呢，我们花了那么多的经费去做这个部分的处理。准备吧。
It seems like a little bit like tap water. There's a little taste of chemicals such as chlorine. Now let's see what our cameraman thinks.
现在呢，换我们的摄影记者来体验。
There's a kind of chlorine taste, but it is basically okay. I feel it's actually quite good drinking this water.
In fact, the first feeling at that time was to say that, whoa, if there's water shortage today, do I want to drink this water? Although the level of this water has completely met the drinking water standard, when you see that it was originally muddy water, you might be hesitant to drink it.
If today someone in a disaster area has no water, they will be dehydrated. If they have clean water, this can save them.
If one day, in fact, there's no water, what should we do? You still need to drink water.
There's a consensus about our shortage of water. We have a common understanding. What we lack is joint action, so we want to reawaken everyone's awareness of this topic. Let's practice the concept of cherishing every drop of water in daily life.
让我们一起留住一滴水。